Hi guys, how are you?
Hello, we are fine.
All great. So we're back again today with the fandom of Shorinoki Ki Kahani. We're back with Manushi, with Supriya, and with Sumi. And we're missing Shreya this week, and she is busy preparing for her exams, and she had to miss today's podcast session. But we're going to have Sumi cover up for her and tell us what happened with the show this week. We've had a very interesting week, though. But before we do that, we will talk a little bit more about what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover the topic of why girls are blamed for everything that goes wrong in a couple's life. Right. We're going to start with that, and then we'll cover little bits about what issues around what happened in Inoki's life this week. So, Sumi, why don't you take over and give us a little rundown on what happened with the show?
This week the show was very interesting. It covered a lot of things. So first of all, Shaurya comes to know why Anokhi is doing what she's doing, and as per the discussion that we had last week here, it was like even he uses the same lines to tell Anokhi what wrong she did, and it's a
It's like
decision.
you read a review.
Exactly. It's like he heard the podcast and was like, okay, let me see the same lines. So it was, he said what was in our hearts. He totally called her off for, making the decision on both of their behalves. And one line that was very interesting is he said, मैं कोई दान देने की चीज नहीं हूँ, which is, I think, something that all ITV should consider now for it's something to really ponder over. It's high time we stop the glorification of sacrifices in the name of love.
Which was our topic last week.
Yes, exactly. Secondly, he met Anokhi's parents this week to take the
Can you do
permission.
that again? Because I'm going to cut that out. Secondly, Inoki's parents.
Then next, what happened was he met Mr. and Mrs. Bhalla for the first time this week, and he took permission for the wedding. And it was a very nice scene because it highlighted the regrets that Mr. Bhalla especially has, and how wrong he has been all this time, and blaming Anokhi and Bubbly for everything that has gone wrong. And the way Shaurya took stand for Anokhi in front of them, I think that it was a major highlight of the episode. A guy who is proud of the girl he's marrying and is making the parents also proud of her, even if the parents don't feel that. So it was very nice. And now it's the preparation of the wedding, keeping Anokhi in darkness. Like, she does not know she's getting married to Shaurya. I think it's one of a kind. I have not seen that before in any TV show, that the bride does not know that she is the bride, but she's taking part in all the rituals. And everybody is, covering up very nicely, but it's hurting her and it is hurting Shaurya also. Because, he gets emotional seeing her in tears. And but I think, as he explained at the starting of the week, that he has his reasons for doing it. He does not agree with Anokhi's decision that she took, but he understands her logic. But it's high time that he makes her also understand that you fight for your love. You don't just give up because a third person is getting involved. I think a lot of things to take in this week. A lot of lessons a lot of lessons to be learned. A lot of ITV cliches that got broken. It was a very interesting week. I think something makers should be really applauded for. It was a brilliant week.
So you're saying a lot of cliches were broken. Let's go to Supriya. Supriya, what were the cliches that were smashed? Let's go there.
So first cliche was the sacrifice cliche, sacrifice being the biggest, and it should be applauded, it should be given the highest pedestal. And that was amazing, where he tried to break that cliche and say, no, it's not right. It is better to fight than to sacrifice. And especially because we are human beings. We are not material things which you can donate away or you can give away without my consent. So that's the second cliche. Consent is important in case of a relationship where both the partners have to consent or agree to a certain thing. So one partner cannot decide on behalf of another.
No, not only partner, but even a family. So
Yes.
your father cannot decide on behalf of your son or a daughter. A brother cannot decide on behalf of a sister. So individuality came.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, and that was brought out beautifully when Shaurya tells his Bade Ma and Badi Papa that I am grateful to the things you have done for me, and that will always be there. That gratitude and love will be always there, the unconditional love. But I refuse to bow down to your conditional love or the fact that I need your consent to marry Anukhi. This is my individuality and this is my choice. So that's the third cliche which was broken. So remember we talked about how the Indian parents think that they know the best for their kids and the kids should respect their decisions and should respect, if they don't respect their choices or decisions, then they're obviously ungrateful kids. So that's the third cliche which has been broken. That the child can still have his own choices, despite everything, and he can still love his parents. They are not mutually exclusive. So if you are having your choices, it doesn't mean that you are not loving your parents or you're not loving.
Yeah, and I don't get how these became mutually inclusive. When? Why? Just because I respect you, I have to listen to you. Just because I am your son or daughter, I have to listen to you. Just because I love you, I have to listen to you. How do those things combine? They don't. I love you, but I don't have to listen to you. I could have my own mind about things. Just because I respect you doesn't mean I have to agree with you. Just because I'm your son or daughter, why should I? Just to show respect to you, I have to listen to you. Just doesn't make sense. I don't know how all of those are mutually inclusive. To show respect to you, I have to listen to you. How does that?
It doesn't. The fourth one I really loved, Miral, is from this point of view that a child can have love for two mothers, one adoptive and biological. Being an adoptive mom myself, I always believe that the child can have love for both, and we should allow the right of the child to love both. It's not really necessary that because I'm adopted mom, I looked after you, that the child should not love the biological mom. So that was another beautiful thing which was highlighted, that when Shaurya said that I want both the mothers. I want to love both the mothers. One is not different from the other. So that is also a beautiful clash which was broken and which reiterates the fact that there's no need for insecurity between two mothers. Both the mothers can have the place of their own in a child's life. So that is one of the things which I really like, the way he brought it out. Of course, the usual normal cliche of Jamai Babu, Jamai Raja, which was broken today, where he says that, why you have to put a son-in-law in the pedestal. And it is true. Like, I remember in my family also, when my sister got married, my grandmother was like, oh, he's a son-in-law, do something. Then my mother was like, he is the family member, he can serve himself, so please do not put him on the pedestal. Let him be, he will eat and on his own, and he can eat on his own. So that is a very beautiful thing which has been reiterated. So these are some of the very heavy cliches that have been broken in the show in 1 week, which is quite
a lot, actually. There's a lot to process right there. Manushi, what do you think? You want to add something to this? You are mute.
Sorry. Yeah. So I think the whole cliche thing that has been broken in this show is like mind blowing. Every day I wake up and I see a new cliche being broken. I'm like, oh my God, this has been happening in ITV for years. And here the writers have actually thrown that out of the window. Like the other day, I remember I saw the whole sacrifice thing. None of us expected, okay, that Shaurya is going to call this out. None of us expected.
No, but we called it out. We weren't happy with her being her succumbing to it. We weren't happy, and we were like, oh, this is so disappointing if she does it, because we don't want it. We hate it, right? And then he called it out, and we were like, thank God, we love this show. That's the reason why we love it.
Exactly. Every day, like that day, Shaurya called it out, and I was like, oh my God, this has never happened in ITV before. Like, give me one goddamn show in this years that has pointed this out. All Ekta Kapoor shows, all other shows, in fact, all shows are like, nahi, daan karo, bade bano, whatever nonsense crap. And the show is like, no, main daan karne ki cheez nahi. That line has my heart. I laughed at it. At the same time, I felt so proud of this show that it has broken this cliche. And the other thing that was pointed today about the Jamai thing. So it's like my family, maybe my fiance is called Jainish Kumar, and Kumar. I don't understand this thing that why do you have to put that pedestal to a son-in-law of the family? Like he himself says कि नहीं पापा, just call me Jainish, I'm happy with that. Because अगर एक ही sentence में जैसे आज उसको जमाई भी बोला and बेटा भी बोला, so why can't a jamai be a beta and a bahu be beti?
Okay, so my question to you, after yesterday, after he said that yesterday to his father-in-law, to Mr. Bhala, how are you going to normalize how is your to be husband going to normalize his relationship with his in-laws? What are you going to do to change this now in your own? How are you going to become an advocate for this normalization of Jamai Radha thing in your case?
Yeah. So what happened was that the day I got engaged, everyone was like Jamai Kumar, and such things. So Jainish said that, listen, मैं भी बेटा ही हूँ, आप मुझे Jainish बुलाओ. I don't want this respect, and respect doesn't come from आप और तुम or Kumar or addressing somebody with that higher pedestal thing. So I said to my parents that आप उसको उसके नाम से बुलाओ. Just don't make him so glorified कि भाई फिर जमाई को सर पे बिठाओ, जैसे शौर्य ने बोला था कि जमाई को सर पे बिठाओ और फिर वो वही जमाई आपको तंग करके रख दे. सो जमाई को जमाई की तरह देखना बंद करो. लाइक आई सेड टू माय फैमिली दैट प्लीज डोंट कॉल हिम जमाई बाबू और एनीथिंग. आई मीन वो जमाई यही, कीप हिम एन इंसान. लाइक आई टोल्ड देम कि भाई ये चीज बंद करो, बिकॉज अगर तुम अपनी बहू को, व्हाई डोंट यू कॉल बहू रानी? सबको बहू रानी क्यों नहीं बुलाया जाता? जमाई बाबू बुलाया जाता है, तो बहू रानी भी
it's not only about calling, Manushi. How do you treat them is another factor. Why do they get treated so special? Why can't they get treated normally?
Yeah, exactly. They are just normal humans. Just because they are outsiders in our family, मतलब नए लोग हैं, that doesn't mean कि you kind of just give them that glorified respect कि भाई हाँ जमाई बाबू या जमाई whatever.
Why are they treated like God?
I don't know why are they treated like gods. I mean, उनमें ऐसा क्या है? Why are actually all men, like कोई भी हो, भाई भी होता है घर में, भाई are treated like gods just because वो घर में रहते, just because they are going to earn for you for life doesn't mean.
I'm sorry, women also earn now. That those days are gone. That hunter-gatherer mentality needs to go, right?
Exactly. Why? I mean, why are they treated as gods? Bhai, wo insani
so I'm gonna pivot right here. This hunter-gatherer mentality. Sumi, what are you gonna say about this hunter-gatherer mentality that still exists in our society?
Actually, see, the basis of this whole Jamai Babu, Jamai Raja thing was like in previous times was women were not working; they were completely dependent on their husbands. So parents used to think like, if I don't treat the son-in-law correctly, he's not going to treat my daughter correctly. That mentality was there because the woman's happiness was depending on on that man, the man of the house. So that's why they used to be scared. Like I have seen, not my parents, but like my grandparents' generation, or some other relatives also I've seen, like they're like, nothing should go wrong in treatment of a son-in-law. Like, he should not feel bad or he should not get offended, because then what will happen to our daughters? So that it was a related thing. Now it is like, it's okay, even if he's a different person, the daughter is a different person. Yes, happiness is dependent on both. Like even the guy's happiness is depending on his wife. The wife's happiness is depending on husband's. But it is not like if the guy is offended, your girl is going to be pushed into pits of misery. It's not like that. So girls are independent, working, non-working, whatever, but they have their life is in their own hands. So that mentality, that fact has changed. So slowly that mentality also has to change. But yes, I agree, this mentality still exists. I think all sections of society.
So I think let me just pivot a little bit. So this is a son-in-law thing, the hunter-gatherer. He's going to take care. This boy's going to take care of my daughter. My daughter will be dependent on him. Let me treat him well. But then there is this Devi mentality, which as Chandra put in her review earlier today, she says, for some reason, Alok is taking videos so that Devi can watch them in the community chest of her Monopoly piece. But yeah, it seemed like in her head, and this is what she meant. She meant that, and this is profound, it meant that Devi plays Monopoly in her own head. She's the queen of her own Monopoly that she plays, where she owns all these property pieces, and Shaurya is her property. And she wants to play mother to that property. For her, Shaurya is the asset. And she wants to own this asset, and she wants to own everything around this asset. For her, motherhood is like a deed, is like a property deed, and she wants to own all aspects of this motherhood. And that's how she looks at motherhood. She doesn't care what other appendages come with it. Right now, this is what she tells Shagun. She said, I don't care who the wife is. And hey, you've lost the game, get out of here. She's gonna get out of here. She doesn't care anymore who the wife is. But she cares that who the mother is. She wants to own this property. So she has this monopoly set up here. Right? And I think it was very it was very profound of Chandra to bring up that entire monopoly thing, because hey, she's playing this game in her mind, where she's playing all the pieces of a board game all the time that nobody else knows exists, and she just wants to own that entire board. Nobody else understands what her fetish with that entire process of being the mother is. And that motherhood thing is a very private process to her. And what that motherhood thing means is a private process to her, but it's not how other people understand motherhood. Because it definitely doesn't come with compassion and love and selflessness. It comes with ownership and possessiveness and control. So let's talk about that, because that's so akin to titlehood.
Yes, so she has also said it previously that she thinks Shaurya is a trophy for her. It's like, because of being his mother, as she likes to call herself, she's controlling everything in that house. She wants to be the control person. She wants to have reins of everybody in her hands. And she wants to say, like, okay, I say you run in this direction, you should run in this direction. I say stop, you better stop. So if Shaurya goes out of her hands, then she loses that control. But thing is, she does not understand he's not a thing. He's not the cheese, like in Hindi wala cheese ki she can just haath mein pakad.
He's not on the board. He's not up on the board as a piece that she will move. He's not a property on the board. Yeah.
I mean, which mother in the world would say that I don't care about the girl that he will want to marry? Like, she does not care. If you're a mother, you should care.
He was marrying him off to Shagun, for God's sake.
Yes, you should care. So that means Shagun is just a pawn for her. In the board game, she is just a pawn. Jo aayi gayi, like, it does not matter to her. For her, it's only what matters is Astha should not come, because if Astha comes, her control is going to be lost, and that is exactly what is happening. So what all she has feared till now, this is exactly what is happening. Shaurya chose Astha for the functions, and Devi was left behind. And the reason she did not go today for the functions was her ego is because if she goes, she has to admit defeat in a way. Her ego, her sense of that need, that drastic need to have control of everything, that will slip away, and she does not have the courage to go there and show her face to everybody. How would she face people when she has openly said that she does not want Onoki? For her, her ego is more important than Shaury's happiness. Like Shaury clearly wanted them to be there, but they did not go. They wanted to see how the proceedings are going. They saw in the video. They still want to know what is going on behind their backs, backs. So that they have that mentality. They want to know what is happening in everybody's life, and then they do not want to do their part. So that is like the double game that is happening there. And she, for a minute, she got little soft towards Shaurya. She said to Tej, let's be happy in his happiness, even if you're not happy with the choices. But then again, when they saw Anokhi with Shaurya, it just flew away. That whole sentiment flew away. So her control, her thirst for control is so high that she does not know how to balance any other emotion in her life, is what I feel. She gives up on everything else to just have that control. That is where she loses. And it's like if you hold sand very tightly, right, in your fingers, it is going to fall off. It is going to slip away from your fingers if you try to hold sand in your fist. That is what is happening.
So Supriya, what do you feel about that Devi scenario? And do you feel, because of the way she wants control, I sometimes feel that her entire, and we've spoken about it before in bits and parts, the way Devi wants control, I feel that there's a greater emotion than just this control. We're seeing the surface of it. There is a greater mental health issue there.
Absolutely, it is possible. And also, I think the cause of this mental health issue lies in the deep-seated patriarchal system. When I say patriarchal system, because I see this around me as well. There is this control of who will be the head of the family. Whether it's a male head or a female head, they want to be head of the family. And that is coming from a deep-seated patriarchal system which is being followed, where they want to have that control and where they want to be known to be the person who are keeping family together, who are keeping the family united. They are the ones who are the central power where everybody goes to. And it stems from there. So Devi also, for her own reasons, she has become such a control freak, not just to control people, but also to maintain her position as the head of the family. So if Tej is the head of the family, she wants to maintain her position as the female head of the family, and she's obsessed to that point. So Shaurya is basically a heir to the family. If you see, being the eldest son, being the this thing, is a typical heir who can run their institutes, who can run this thing by amicably. So they see that Shaurya, by his own rights, not through patriarchy system, but by his own rights, or because of his brilliance and smartness, can keep people together. And that's where they want to control Shaurya. But as you rightly pointed out, some of these mental issues, this controlling, excessive control over people, or to obsessing over certain material things, obsessing over this thing, becomes so deep-seated that we don't even realize that it could be a mental issue or it could be a mental health challenge. Because we see it around us in bits and pieces because of the patriarchal world. And then what we think is, oh, this is common and this is general. But then we don't.
No, I mean, we can look at it as we always think that people are who they are because of their inherent nature. But if we go deep down, a lot of people behave a certain way because of they have triggers in their life, and people always react to stimuli to that trigger. And in behavior science, we always look at triggers. everybody behaves in a certain way because they have triggers, and you always have to go back and look at, okay, what triggered this person to do it, and then you look for the next trigger. Okay, they behaved in this way because this thing triggered them. They said this because this thing triggered them, so that you come to the root cause of that trigger. And when you look at somebody like someone like a person like a very well written character like Devi, you know, every time she behaves in a certain way, her trigger is control. Why is she controlling? Is because she's highly insecure. Why is she insecure? Is because she wants to retain that position. Why does she want that position? Is because there's something about Tej, and I can't put my finger to it. Maybe he has another wife. Maybe there is something about Tej that makes her insecure. Even though they have this loving relationship, what else is there that makes her insecure in her situation? That sometimes she doesn't even listen to him. She completely controls him back. And at times, he controls her back too.
Yes, and also there was one very interesting statement made by her that, you know, when this child was crying a lot, I didn't know what to do with this child.
She doesn't care about the child. And
Yes.
her answer to the child's problem is, I don't have to love the child. I have to make the child feel that he's loved. There's a
Yes.
difference between the two.
Yes.
This is exactly the solution she gives to Shagun. You don't have to love him. You don't have to be his wife. You have to fill that space. You have to do the job. So you have to fill the position. You don't have to be his wife. You have to fill the position. It's like that. You don't have to be Anoki, but you have to fill the position of Anoki. So in their head, they're so plastic in their understanding of relationships, in their understanding of the world, in their understanding of human relationships, that they haven't really gone down the chain of really understanding what makes people move, what relationships really are. Because in their lives, they've filled the real things with artificial things always. So that makes me think that her relationship with Tej is also very artificially put together.
And it is harboring on sociopathic tendencies, to be very
Very.
honest.
It's based on money and control. So there is something in their relationship that's not right, which makes me believe that there is something more to the backstory than what we know. And I think a lot of it will come now, because I also feel Asta hasn't said anything to. She's never opened her mouth to Shaurya. She's never said anything bad to Shaurya about Devi, because she doesn't want to hurt Shaurya. So she doesn't say anything to Shaurya about Devi at all. She hasn't bad-mouthed Devi one single bit. Do you realize that even though she tells Shaurya that she's always been with Shaurya, but she didn't say one single bad thing about Devi?
Yeah, and that was surprising given the fact she told Devi that he snatched the child away.
She did not say one bad thing about Devi to Shaurya at all. Kanchan did. Kanchan told Shaurya. Shaurya doesn't know the other things about Devi yet. So there's a lot more that Shaurya has to know about Devi that Asta hasn't told him. Because Asta doesn't want to hurt Shaurya. Shaurya loves Devi like a mother. And Asta knows that if she tells him, it's going to hurt him. So as a mother, she's protecting Shaurya. And Shaurya doesn't know the reality about Devi yet. So all of that is still coming. All of that still has to be unraveled. There's so much story there. There's so much backstory that we don't know, right? So, Manushi, what do you feel about that?
I feel certain people behave in a certain manner and they have that psychotic obsession. So it's like if you're telling me that I have to listen to you, there are some people who are going to rebel regardless of anything. Like if you come and say to someone that, you know, you have to do this XYZ thing, that person by default will be a rebel. He'll be like, no, main nahi karuga. He or she will go wrong with anything and everything. And I think that kind of leads to a behavior where, if you know about this disorder called schizophrenia, like, you
Yeah.
know, अगर control से बाहर चीजें हो जाती है कि जैसे मैं बोले ऐसा नहीं हो रहा, जैसे देवी, that moment when the दवाई सगाई thing happened, देवी was losing her shit. She was like, no, ऐसा कैसे हो रहा है? How is Shaurya not listening to me? How is he not listening to me? ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? मेरा पावर है, मेरा राज चलेगा, ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? And then she uses the ultimate trump card that she has कि भाई I am falling sick and other. She has that psychotic obsession कि मेरा सुनना चाहिए. And Tej, when he controls her, she controls him back because of this. She feels like no, मेरा, you know, ऐसे बोलते ना कि मेरा सत्ता जा रहा है. Like you have that thing in your family कि हाँ, this is going away from me, this is going away from me. That drives her crazy. She needs to be in power anyhow. Like कुछ भी करके, in front of Kanchan, in front of Anokhi.
So that is going to be crazy now with her and Anokhi. That tussle is going to be crazy because Anokhi is not somebody you can control.
Anokhi
And then with
is
Kanchan
again,
around, this is going to be even more crazy.
in fact, Anokhi is someone who is never going to take a single shit from Devi. Like if Devi will say ABCD, Anokhi will say Roman numerals. That's how poles apart they are. And I think it will be a very interesting dynamics. But more than that, I would want to point out one thing that Supriya said, that this comes a lot from the societal behavior that we have been dealing with for years. That, you know, a head of the family के सबको जोड़ के रखता है, and
No, not
other
only why does it only fall upon the head of the family कि जोड़ के रखना is one thing. जोड़ के क्यों रखना? There are so many people with individual likes, dislikes. Why do they have to like? Why do everybody in the family have to like the same thing? Kill their individuality and like the same thing is the first question.
families have that notion कि, you know, अगर एक बच्चे के लिए भिंडी की सब्जी बनी, दूसरे के लिए टिंडे की सब्जी बनी, तो नखरे बढ़ जाएंगे and families में तनाव हो जाएगा. You know, that's a typical
How
thing.
is this connected? How is sabzi connected to tanav? I don't get it. Where is this thought process coming? I mean, I don't get it. How is this logical even? We're supposed to be a logical society. How does this even make logical sense?
I'll tell you. So in my family, it's like I and my brother, we both have such poles apart food preferences. He like chole, I like paneer chili. So that's how poles apart we are. And mom will be like, पहले शुरू में when we were kids, she was like, नहीं, एक ही सब्जी बनेगी, यही खाना पड़ेगा, because फिर तुम अलग जाके खाओगी. And also this was associated to the fact कि मैं और भाई अलग-अलग कमरों में जाके खाते थे. We didn't sit together as a family and eat. तो families को लगने लगते कि oh my god हमारी परिवार टूट रहा है. You know, that typical ITV सोच that comes here कि अरे
this is conditioning Ekta Kapoor conditioning again, right?
I believe
it's like right now ये serial बहुत जल्दी खत्म होने वाला है because शादी जल्दी हो रही है. I'm like, how did this get conditioned? Just because every Hindi movie ends such लड़का लड़की शादी करना है, you conditioned to think ये खत्म होने वाला because इनकी शादी हो रही है. Like how?
Families believe that, you know, अगर ऐसा हो रहा है, they take such stupid signs out of nothing. मतलब जो head of the family होता है ना, that person has that mentality कि हमारे परिवार के सारे लोग 8 बजे आने चाहिए, डाइनिंग टेबल पे बैठने चाहिए, खाना खाने चाहिए, which is what we have seen in serials also.
It's like लड़की को अंधेरे में बाहर नहीं जाना चाहिए क्योंकि खतरा है. दिन में खतरा नहीं है, same खतरा है.
Exactly. So it's like the head of the family becomes so psychotic at times कि उनको realize नहीं होता.
Psychotic.
I'm sorry to use such a word.
And head of the family. Seriously.
Exactly.
What is this concept of head of the family?
Head of the
किसने
family
बनाया ये concept?
परदादा के जमाने से चलता है ना कि एक.
नहीं, I'm just questioning it right now. कैसे बना, क्यों बना? Why do we need head of the family?
So that सबका behavior control कर सके, जैसे class
control क्यों करना है सबका behavior control?
जैसे क्लास में मॉनिटर
होता है वैसे. It's the same concept. वो क्लास में लेके गया.
Exactly.
पर क्यों? Why does everybody have to fall in line? Because सबको same कपड़े पहनने, सबको same behave करना है, सबको same सब्जी खानी है, सबको same likes dislikes सबकी same होने चाहिए, सबको same कपड़े पहनने, ऐसा same thing.
I don't know. why this army behavior के भाई एक ही चीज सबको करनी है, मतलब as the head of the family ठीक है, आपकी responsibility है कि आप झगड़े ना होने दो घर में, you don't let fights happen, you don't let
रेजोल्यूशन करो, झगड़े होने दो, because अच्छा है झगड़ा होना. It's always good to have a diverse family. It's always good to have people who think differently. मगर
Exactly.
resolve करने दो. हाँ, पर Supriya, say, you wanted to say something, right?
Yes, so I think this head of the family concept comes from the agricultural background that we have.
नहीं, it comes from early man.
Early man, but
वो पांच छह औरतें रखता था, उसकी 5-6 बीवियां होती थी, और मतलब they wouldn't marry but they would cohabit, right? 5-6 बीवियों के साथ, और फिर वो hunting जाता था, वापस आता था, बड़ा animal लाता था. He needed somebody to take care of the bada animal.
But then it strengthened because of the agricultural this thing also, where we had one common land between, let's say, 4 brothers or 5 brothers with the zamindari system. So it strengthened there because there somebody had to control the entire land and the decisions and things like that. So that's where the head of the family started. Now,
But अभी ये problem नहीं है ना हमको.
अभी नहीं है.
तो अभी क्यों है, अभी ये क्यों है फिर से हेड ऑफ द फैमिली की प्रॉब्लम? हम वो प्रॉब्लम क्यों कैरी फॉरवर्ड कर रहे हैं जो हमने रिजॉल्व कर लिया है, रीजन रिजॉल्व कर दिया?
We should not. I mean, that is the whole point.
And नहीं, वो प्रॉब्लम के साथ हम और भी कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स कैरी फॉरवर्ड कर रहे हैं. लाइक हमें हेड ऑफ फैमिली की बात सुननी है, बड़े हमेशा करेक्ट होते हैं, जो बड़े होते हैं जो बोलते हैं हमें उनकी रिस्पेक्ट करनी है और वो सुननी भी है, क्योंकि वो हमेशा राइट होते हैं.
Yes.
और उनको कंट्रोल करना है सब कुछ.
Yes, and no, so that is fall in line. So it is very rare that they allow you to question. So my parents always said that you could question us. If we are wrong, then we are wrong. If we are right, we are right. You have the authority to question us. So I used to question my grandmother also. And my grandmother used to get very irritated as well. So why are you questioning?
I'm older than you. Why are you questioning me? I'm always right.
Yes, because
what kind of behavior is this, dude? Manushi, you wanted to say something. Shameless?
Yeah, so probably this thing again comes from कि अगर मम्मी पापा हमको सारी छूट दे देंगे तो दादा दादी of the family will be like अरे बाप रे बच्चों को बिगाड़ रहे हो, ये कर रहे हो, वो कर रहे हो. Because I think this mentality comes from generations. It's been going on from generations and कोई तो ऐसी family हो इंडिया में जो इस mentality को तोड़े for God's sake. मतलब टीवी में भी यही कचरा दिखाते हैं कि जिसने बाऊजी ने बोला, oh my God, वो DDL जो example, बाऊजी के खिलाफ में नहीं जा सकती. I mean, come on, get out of that shell, get out of that whole, you know, shit that has been going on. मतलब फैमिली में बड़े ने बोला तो भाई करना ही है. मतलब बड़े ने बोला बंदूक रखो, सर पे रखो, नीलाम हो जाओ. क्यों? Why can't this stop? It's like देवी भी यही करती है कि बंदूक रखी उसने शौर्य के सर पे, सगाई कर ले वरना उड़ा दूंगी तेरे को. I mean, what is?
अरे if I were there, I would be like ठीक है दवाई नहीं खा, मैं वेट कर रहा हूँ. Literally, I would have done that. मैं तो I mean, come on, यार तेरा हार्ट अटैक है, दवाई नहीं खानी. I'm sorry, I can't help you, but I won't get blackmailed ever. Blackmail never. Sumi, what do you think about that? तुम्हारे साथ ऐसा होता है?
No, thankfully.
हाँ, मेरे साथ भी कभी ऐसा नहीं होता.
I have been lucky enough to be in a family who has always given me, choices to follow on. Always there has been an open discussion. Even the thing about, having dinner together and lunch together, that happens in my family because my parents both are working there. We are busy. Everybody is busy. So dinner time or lunch time is the only time where you spend time together. So that time is a family time to spend time together. No, it's not a dictation that you have to be here because, let's follow this rule or tradition. It's not because of that. It's because everybody is busy individually in their lives. They're doing their own business. Okay, so let's spend some time together. We'll, discuss about what has happened in your life. There's something somebody wants to
So Manushi, but you come from a very conservative family. Does this happen with you? I'm pivoting to her because I know this happens to her.
My family is not conservative. It was conservative in a point, but I was the stubborn person in my family. Everyone in my family knows.
So what happened to you? Did you fall down when you were born? Something happened?
No. So my mom says that you are very ziddy. Like I am very ziddy. अगर मैंने कुछ बोला कि this is wrong तो this is wrong, because I had the habit कि ये गलत है तो गलत है. For example, जैसे जैन्स में ऐसा होता है कि तिथि आठम चौदस, there are certain things that you can't have certain food. कि भाई आज you can't eat प्याज and certain things, and I was like नहीं मैं तो खाऊंगी. आपको जो करना है करो. I am going to eat. I am not going to sacrifice anything. तो ये सब वहां से शुरू है. My भाई is the innocent कड़ा, मतलब ऐसे कि हाँ नहीं 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 मैं तो मम्मी की सारी बातें सुनूंगा, ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला. तो आई ब्रोक दिस थिंग इन अ वे कि माय पेरेंट्स यूज्ड टू क्वेश्चन मी कि रात को 2 बजे तू कहाँ से आ रही है. आई एम लाइक आई चेंज देयर मेंटालिटी लाइक कि लिसन आई एम एन इंडिविजुअल एंड मैं सबसे बड़ी हूँ घर की, मुझे पता है, बट फिर भी गिव मी दैट स्पेस, गिव मी दैट थिंग टू ब्रीद. फिर मेरे पेरेंट्स धीरे धीरे समझने लगे. आई यूज्ड टू पॉइंट इट आउट ऑन देयर फेस कि ये गलत है, यू नो दिस इज रॉन्ग, आप ये गलत कर रहे हो, जस्ट लेट मी ब्रीद, लेट मी ब्रीद. मेरे को बार बार ये पॉइंट. एंड मेरे मामा की फैमिली एंड एवरीवन इज आल्सो वेरी कंजर्वेटिव. दे आर लाइक कि यही करना पड़ेगा 10 बजे के बाद. दे यूज्ड टू कीप माय फोन अवे. मतलब मैंने ये फोन सिस्टम में कभी सरेंडर नहीं किया. माय फादर वाज लाइक फोन दे दे. मैंने एक पूरा दिन जिद किया, पूरा दिन. आई वाज नॉट टॉकिंग टू देम, कुछ भी किया मैंने, बट आई डिडंट गिव इन टू देयर ruthless demands. Or
So you protested. You've done. You've been a jihadi, literally.
I have been that because मेरा फोन रखवाते. I mean, who the hell are you to come and tell me कि भाई फोन रख दे, 10 बज गए. अरे यार, I am not in some army, and army का चलो अलग होता है, but घर में why should I put my phone? क्यों मैं रजाई, और फिर बोलते थे मैं रजाई में छुपके करती थी. पहले जब छोटी थी इतना पता नहीं चलता था कैसे रिबेल कर सकती हूँ. रजाई में छुपके करती थी. They used to come and they used to be like,
Wow.
अच्छा ये कर रही है. I'm
Wow.
like, नहीं. फिर मैंने खुलेआम करना शुरू कर दिया. आई बिकेम और ढीठ. आई वाज लाइक ठीक है चलो बोलना है बोलो, मैं हेडफोन्स डाल दूंगी, चली जाऊंगी उधर से. इफ यू कांट कंट्रोल मी, आई रिफ्यूज टू बी कंट्रोल्ड. एंड मैंने कभी खुद को कंट्रोल नहीं होने दिया. नेवर इन माय लाइफ.
Amazing. I've never had any human rights issues with my parents. Literally, literally never. I mean, I've been the person. If my first boyfriend, my dad was the first person to know. Literally, my first alcoholic drink with my dad. Literally, everything. It's always been my parents who've been the first people to know. And I've never hidden anything from them. I've always been very open about everything. And yeah, when I had to travel, I had to travel. And they trusted me implicitly with everything. And I've never broken their trust with anything. But जो भी कर रही हूँ, मुंह पर बोल देती हूँ, मैं कर रही हूँ. And they have never questioned it. And I have never given them a chance to ever question me. But also, even if I made a mistake, I'll go and tell them, hey, I did this, I goofed up here, and they'll laugh about it and say, now deal with it. We're here if you want to talk, but deal with it yourself. And that is the best part about making mistakes, right? You go and deal with it, and honestly, whenever you're dealing with your mistakes and you're dealing with all your goof ups, the learnings are so amazing. I mean, so many goof ups, so many risks, everything. And this is what I was telling somebody the other day. The good part about goof ups and risks that you take in life is that you get used to the risk taking. And then boring is so boring, man. If you're not taking risks, life becomes boring. But anyways, I think we come to we've discussed this, and we know that middle of the wedding in the series now. What do you think is going to happen now? We've reached a stage where we know she'll come to know soon that she's a bride. So do you want to take over, Manushi, and tell us what's going to happen next? What do you think is going to happen next week?
Okay, so I think this is the first ITV show where the bride doesn't know that she's the bride, and I think that's the most hilarious part. I remember my dadi started watching the show and she's like, "Arey, isko abhi bhi nahi pata she's the bride." I was like, "Nahi, dadi."
And she's supposed to be a bride topper.
Exactly. My dadi is like, अरे ये कितना सड़ा हुआ शक्ल बना के अपने मेहंदी में बैठी है, कैसी bride है? Like, दादी इसको पता ही नहीं है कि she is the bride. And I think that's the most interesting part that this show has taken us, that the bride does not know that she's the bride, and that has been done for her betterment. And for the first time, the mistake, this is a mistake to hide from a bride, कि भाई it's her shadi, you know, because Anokhi has been crying like anything, and the way Debatma has performed that scene where she breaks down, and you know, the whole thing. Oh my God, I had jitters and I couldn't stop my tears. But at the same time, we know that whatever Shaurya is doing, it's for the betterment, because she needs to learn to, you know, realize the fact that he is not a thing to be sacrificed, and not just him. Anything in her life she should not sacrifice. She should put out a fight. He is reminding her of the rebel Anokhi that she's, you know, the girl who slammed the SIC office, that, you know, yeah, this is my right to take admission, who was ready to go to the human lawyer court, I mean, sorry, education board to just get her right to claim that admission based on the rustication and anything. That girl was a rebel. And Shaurya's love doesn't have to be her weakness. Yahi baat Shaurya is trying to make her realize that my love.
But also, Manushi, if I may interject here, she has never reciprocated Shaurya's intensity of love, the way Shaurya loves her madly, deeply. She hasn't reciprocated it yet. And I think we have yet to see her feel it deeply. And I think we're going to see it now, right?
Anokhi has been a very deep and passionate lover, but Shaurya is very expressive. On the other hand, Anokhi is not. She will suppress her emotions to herself. Like, she also loves madly like Shaurya does, okay? Like the way she burned that red lehenga during the whole revealing thing. She equally loves Shaurya, but there are bits and pieces. We have seen Shaurya's love because he has shown that to us.
Yeah, but she also walks away without giving him a chance. That's not love. She's walked away too many times without giving him a chance to explain himself. That's not love. That's selfishness. Every time she does that, she's selfish. And in love, you can be selfish. In love, the other person comes first.
I would refuse to believe Anokhi is selfish.
Because, oh no, she is highly selfish. When she does that, every time she walks away hurting him without thinking of him first, she's selfish. She's thinking of herself.
She is not selfish, I would say. I mean, she is not selfish.
She is. The moment she doesn't think of him, she's selfish.
But Anokhi, at the same time, you have to understand, she's a 20-year-old girl who is.
I don't care whether you're 20 or you're 50 in love. If you're not thinking of the person you love, you're selfish.
I believe to a fact that this week, what will happen now is Anokhi is going to realize that she has to put out a fight, be the Jugni, you know, we call her the Jugni. And Jugni for the right reasons she has to be, not for the wrong reasons like sacrifice and other things. She doesn't have to be a Jugni in that, but she has to be Jugni and say, you know, hold Shaurya's collar and say that, you know, man, I love you and I can't live without you. And that is what she's going to do it now. Like we saw in the spoilers. The SBS segment, she's going to man out her love and say that, you know, yes, Shaurya, I love you and I can't be without. But Anokhi is someone who has to be pushed to the extreme edge. Like, even if you see in the Shagun, she's highly stubborn, that, you know, roegi, peetegi, maregi, kuch bhi karegi, but that girl will not go and say ke bhai, yes, Shaurya, I can't live without you. She'll take that to herself. You know, no, Anokhi, you are strong. But she's wrong here. She doesn't have to be strong for the wrong reasons. And आज भी मेहंदी में she was teary eyed, she was angry, she was annoyed, but she was not saying it एक बार भी. Shaurya was waiting कि भाई ये कब बोलेगी, कब इसका पारा टूटेगा, कब. But Anokhi is very, मतलब उसको लगता है कि she has to be strong. ये इतना fit किया है ना उसके mind में कि she has to be strong for the wrong reasons. And I think जब Anokhi का ये strong barrier टूटेगा, I think Shagun has a big part to play here.
I'm pretty sure Shagun has a big part to play. I have a spoiler, but I can't tell you. Sorry.
You can't do this to us, yeah. So Shagun आएगी, and I think Shagun.
I'm sorry, I do have a spoiler, but I can't tell you. I'm sorry.
Shagun आके वो बोलेगी कि, you know, ये Shaurya से चिपकेगी and other. And Anokhi was very jealous. If we go back to the तू जरूरी पार्ट के बाद वाला कि she was just burning. Like, Shagun ने हाथ कैसे लगाया? And here Shagun is going to be all kuchiku with Shaurya, and Anokhi is going to be the volcano, I think, and that's how the revelation might happen. This is my guess, but other guess is also that she's going to realize कि Shaurya से दूर जा रहा है. Anokhi has to realize the fact that Shagun ho chuka and Shaurya is actually going to be out of her life forever. And she has not yet realized this. आज she realized जब शगुन का नाम लिखा हाथ में, तब she realized कि Shaurya is going away from her. And I think
but Shaurya ने वो उसी वक्त हटा दिया नाम. He rubbed it off. He rubbed it off. He actually rubbed it off immediately, right?
Shaurya did rub it off, but Anokhi has to realize that her self of losing, that she's losing Shaurya. She has to get that in her blood कि नहीं Shaurya मुझसे दूर जा. And the minute she has that, Anokhi is going to go all on her knees and Shaurya से भी 10 times ज़्यादा romantic बन के वो बंदी जाके बोल देगी कि Shaurya, yes, listen, रो के बोलेगी कि Shaurya, I love you 100 times बोल देगी, एक नहीं 100 times बोल देगी, because Shagun will be that trigger point for her. Shagun,
you think so, Sumi? Do you agree with Manushi, Sumi? Is there a role for Shagun coming? In the wedding sequence, is there a role for Shagun coming?
The whole point of Shaurya going to Shagun and telling her, just enact as my wife, it has to play somewhere, because Shagun has not made an entry to any of these functions till now. Like, she is that non-existent fake bride who does not make an entry. So I think she can make an entry, because there has to be a trigger for Anokhi. That I agree with Manushi, because she is right now controlling her emotions so much that she's not just ready to let it go. So there has to be a trigger point. Like Ahir has been a trigger point for Shaurya previously. Shagun has to be a trigger point.
So what is the twist? What is going to happen? You think Shagun will turn up as the bride and Anokhi is going to lose her shit? Because Anokhi will tell Shaurya that the things are going to go on. Her rehearsals and everything. Sorry, her other functions are going to start now, and she will know she's the bride. So what is the twist that's going to happen now? Predict. Go wild with it. Let's go wild with it. Let's do alternate story plot like we do every Thursday. Like Chandra's alternative story plots. Like last week Shagun became Cobra instead of Nagan 6.
There could also be that Shagun does not come.
And then Karthik Goenka entered the plot.
It also could be that Shagun does not physically come, but like Shaurya enacts like she's talking to her on the phone or something like that, and she hears it, and then she realizes. Although if she makes an entry, that will be double advantage for us, because first of all, Shagun will raise her like anger level to a maximum. Plus, then when the misunderstanding will go away and when Shaurya and Anokhi will be together, seeing Shagun's face will be a treat for the fans. So it's like a double treat for
Shagun's face will be dream for the fans.
Yeah, Shagun's dejected face. Shagun's
dejected face.
Yeah, where she's
Manushi.
Please don't tell me that you don't like seeing her dejected face, when Shaurya hands her the bottle of water and gives us her
bag dena, bottle pakarna, like all the treats. I have to tell you this. So every day we get like 5,000, 6,000 messages on Instagram. It's crazy. We're like mental health clinic for Instagram, for Shaurya Anokhi fans. We run a mental health clinic. Not only mental health, we are IP clinic, copyright clinic, mental health clinic. We are also legal clinic. We are also what is going to happen next clinic. Okay, we're everything. We're one-stop shop for everything Shaurya Anokhi on Instagram and Twitter in DMs. So we get asked, is he going to marry Shagun? Otherwise, we're going to go away. We're going to leave the fandom. We're going to leave. So we had to write to them. No, he's not going to marry Shagun. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Then the next thing is he? Look at this site. They're putting out videos of the show. Please help us bring it down. And I'm like, legally, we're not the copyright owners. We don't have any right to bring them down. Legally, we can't force them anything. It's illegal for us to bring them down because we're not the copyright owners. And trust us, Disney has the largest copyright team in the world, and lawyers and softwares. Let them do the job. Don't be an internet cop. How dare you be rude to us? Dude, we just tell you by law, you can't force other people. If you don't own the copyright, you can't force a third person's copyright on someone else. We're just letting you know. But all right, we're rude to you. Sorry about that. But why don't you mind your own business on the internet? Because Disney can take care of itself. They hire people just to do that, right? Don't worry about them so much. Then, third type of question. The show's going to go off the air. Can you tell us it won't? It won't. Thank you. Next day, the show won't go off the air, right? No, it won't. Okay. Third day, the show won't go off the air. I mean, literally, it kills us. Fourth day, didn't we say the same thing to you yesterday? Why are you rude to us? Fifth day, he won't marry Shagun, right? So seriously, honestly, it's like a comedy show in DMs. we could literally make a side comedy out of this, and I'm pretty sure Chandra is working on a side comedy script for this. But 5, 6, 7,000 of this coming to us every day. It's more than the followers we allow for ourselves, literally, because we go through the bot cycle and we remove the ones that we don't want. We literally block them because we just want to keep it so clean, especially on Insta and all. We just want people that are really interested in the content. We really want people who interact with us rather than people who are just there sitting perched over there with nothing to add to our profile. So we literally undergo the curation process every time. And honestly, it is such a joke. We laugh about it all the time. But that pain of having like 50,000 unread messages. We don't want to laugh about it, but honestly, it's real. The dukh is real, as we say. The dukh is really real.
One thing I want to say about Shagun Miral, one thing I also think might happen.
Shagun is our pain too, because we get asked so many questions about what Shagun is thinking. We nod in our head. We don't know what she's thinking, but yeah.
One thing is, Shaurya still does not know her reality, like her complete reality. The goody two shoes thing that she shows in front of Shaurya, right? I think there could be something that gets revealed in the coming. It should be like I
have a spoiler for you for Shagun.
Is it something related to this? Then I'm really excited.
I'm a very big spoiler. I'm going to give you a spoiler, okay? In the OG, right now, what's going on in the OG? Right now, OG, Shagun and Ahir fall in love. Right now, the track going on in the OG, Shagun and Ahir have fallen in love. Oh my god, I died laughing because somebody's asking me, will he marry? Will Shaurya marry Shagun? And I sent them that screenshot. I said, no, look what happened here. Be happy. Do not get into depression. Look what happened.
I'm actually waiting for Shaurya to blast Shagun and show her, because what she did with that whole leaking of the pictures and traumatizing emotionally traumatizing Anokhi was she led that gang of Bogo with the
Bogo.
She was the culprit. So she has to pay for the consequences. She just cannot be like, okay, fine, you have married Anokhi, now let me go, bye. Plus, she has an ulterior motive that has not come in front. So, her situation is definitely something that we have to look forward to. Just hoping that, I'm waiting for Shaurya to give her a peace of mind, because she really deserves something from him like this. Like she needs to be called out for her hypocrisy and her, acting all...
So, by the way, yesterday Chandra in her review writes that the odd people in the entire party are Alok and his weird daughters Bogo, who you wish came in a camouflage outfit, only they didn't find any. What? Anyway, having said that, I think we had a good laugh. You know what's going to happen to Shagun if she doesn't end up coming and trying to sabotage the wedding by trying to be the bride, and then Anokhi having a fit. you know, all that could happen. We don't know what's going to happen, but that's going to be fun because I'll trigger Anoki. That's Anoki's trigger, and then she'll be like, "You lady, what you doing with my man?" kind of shit. So we'll have fun. Whatever happens, you know, we're going to have fun because this entire series is about, you know, this is fun. You know, we're gonna have Anoki fighting for her, you know, man, and that's gonna be real fun to watch, and I'm pretty sure Shar is gonna enjoy that too, and so will we, right? That's exactly the Anoki we want to see, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Shar is
But,
waiting for somebody
no
to fight for him. Like he
Kunkat
fights.
drama, please. No Kunkat drama. I've had enough of it in IT.
What drama?
Kunkat drama.
What's that?
Gungat.
Arey,
Like,
Gungat. Oh, that's
Right.
too cliche. I don't think this series is gonna do that. That Gungat drama would happen in Ekta. Sorry,
This show has
I even
broken-
roasted her in the live, didn't I? I
the
did,
show is
right?
like, even if Anoki
Open.
wants to put a gungat, Chore will open the gungat to see her face. before
Dude,
he goes.
in this serial there'll be no Gungat. I don't think this serial does Gungat,
I
right?
want to see Anoki. He cannot
Anoki will
stay
be
without
like,
seeing
"मैं-"
her face here. He's like he cannot stay without
I
seeing
don't
her.
think he'll marry her without seeing her face. That won't happen
Yes,
here.
that's what it won't happen.
No, this serial is not about Gungat. This Gungat doesn't happen. And this will be open confrontation. This is going to be war. This is going to be missiles. This is going to be like missiles happening. Some other plot will be thought about. This is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Anoki will be like, मैं घूंघट नहीं लूंगी. I am a well-educated person. ये घूंघट nonsense. I am not going to tolerate. If you want, if Shaurya wants her, तो भी वो मना कर देगी. She'll be like, नहीं, मैं घूंघट नहीं लूंगी.
Do brides in India still do Gungat?
Unfortunately, yes.
Not in the cities.
Decide, the two of you, all three of you. Decide. फिर मेरे को बताना. I'm out of this marriage thing circuit, so tell me, क्या करती हैं औरतें?
But my colleagues
most-
have had their, like, when they married deep in Bihar and all, so their wives were in Kunkat, and then they only opened it at the first night. So that much I know.
Whoa, man! So the guys didn't know what their wives looked like the entire time?
Only photographs. I have personally, I mean, I know some cases.
But this is not Bihar. This is like high class Chandigarh, Sabharwal wedding. They're not going to have a
Then
Gungat
they
shit.
won't have. Ideally, they should not have.
Dude, she's wearing off shoulder for Mendi and all that. She's not going to do Gungat.
Mostly
There's
this
that
happens
Jaimal
where mostly this ghungat thing happens when you're married off and if your family belongs to some village, or you know, when your buddy saas and other people are there, they ask you to put
But
ghungat.
she's a Pindu.
But she's so Anoki is not going to do that any which ways. And Shagun, whenever people ask you कि Shagun and Shaurya are going to marry, just tell them that, you know, Shaurya se khud जाके पूछ लो, because Shaurya Shagun को we actually make a joke out of it. जैसे in one of the group chats that I'm in, there's this hashtag called Shasha Wedding. So there are two fandom people who are like, अरे नहीं नहीं देखना Shasha Wedding होगी, and I lash out at them. I'm like, शगुन को पता चला, अरे शौर्य को पता चला ना कि शगुन से शादी होने वाली, वो उसको हवन कुंड में धक्का मार देगा कि I am not going to marry Shagun.
So Chandra told somebody it'll be illegal because he's already married. According to Hindu Marriage Act, he's already married to Anoki. Now, because according to Hindu Marriage Act, a wedding in the mandir is a wedding. So if he marries somebody else, that'll be second marriage, and that'll be illegal. He can go to jail for it. So that will be illegal anyway. So that won't happen. That's one. So Chandra is telling those people, then you can send Shaurya to jail. That'll be another plot. So we can do that. We can try doing that. So she's actually leading them down another path over there. Then we can actually decide which lawyer. You can hire me. And they're like, really? She's actually taking them down the lawyer plot. She said, I'm looking for a job.
Shagun has to be of some good use, man. मतलब come on, she has to make Anoki jealous. कुछ तो काम आए वो शो में, इतनी बेइज्जती हो चुकी है अब तक उसकी. I mean that girl is of no damn use. उसको बोलो शौर्य को मतलब चिपके जितना मर्जी चाहे प्रोफेसर को चिपके, ताकि अनोखी उसको कॉलर पकड़ के मंडप से बाहर फेंक दे उसको के just go
यार
away.
the thing is हम इतने सारे plots यहाँ पर कर रहे हैं, इतने सारे plots हम alternate plots कर रहे हैं. It's amazing. We can try all of these plots on Thursday but whatever we do, we know this show is so simply put together that हम जो भी कर रहे हैं वहां पे सब कुछ सीधा ही होने वाला है. We know that. We know this show doesn't do stuff our way. Even a mother and son meeting after 25 years was done so simply and beautifully. It was all words, and the words were so beautifully put together that you're like, wow, this is so simple. We were complicating it in our heads because we're so conditioned by Ekta Kapoor to think complicated.
Even the ITV cliches of Miral that we had been talking about. So in this case also, Shaurya directly tells Shagun that I want my wife. He clearly told, see, I'm already married to Anokhi, so I'll marry Anokhi second time. I cannot marry you. Be my pretend wife. He's not, generally what happens, they'll, try to use the third angle as, to make somebody jealous. He is so clear and so like righteous in his mind that he just told her directly that I am not going to marry you.
No, he probably said that to her to bring confusion to us, right? That's one. Secondly, when finally Devi walks off her, even her expression tells her role is over for now. Her expression wasn't one of, okay, I'm going to try something else. Let me think of another plot. Her expression is, I'm lost. But right? Her expression wasn't that I'm going to think of another plot.
But she flips also, Miral. She goes on and off. She's like a switch. For some she will be like, she'll be very mellowed down. She'll be like, she's thinking on somebody's behalf. She's like little, she'll show a softer side. And
anyway, we're contemplating Shagun's head. Something must be wrong with us. Literally, right now, what I'm saying is this weekend it doesn't look all that great because we're thinking inside Shagun's head, which is like thinking inside Cobra. Like literally, seriously, girls. What's going on with us?
It's hard to believe that the ITV wedding will go clean and simple without any drama and
exactly. This spoiler king is just playing with our minds because this guy's crazy. But having said that, I think it's time for us to wrap the show up. And so lovely having you. This was a lovely discussion to have. I think we went in many directions and we discussed quite a few important things. Right? So here we go. Lovely having you all here this week. See you next week. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.